Hello everybody, this is the Love Yourself Guru and welcome to the Love Yourself TV. Today we're going to do a video on the 7 promises that will change your life. When I first began on the journey of loving myself, I wrote down a list of promises, 7, and I vowed not to break them. Now these promises are life changing. And so what I want you to do is I want you to listen to the video, to write it to the end. And then if the 7 promises at the beginning are too much for you to promise, like 7 would be difficult for you to begin with, just pick 2 that you really like. You're going to like all of them, but just pick 2 at the beginning and then stick to them for 1 week and let me know what happens. Incredible changes, God willing. So let's get going with the video and let's do the first promise. Okay, so the first promise is, I promise to look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you. Now, when I first came onto the journey of loving myself, what the reason was because I came across Louise Hay on YouTube. I stumbled on one of her videos, and she was the founder of Mirror Work. And basically she taught everybody, she taught everybody that to wake up every morning and to look at yourself in the mirror and to say, I love you. And it was the first time I actually came across this concept. And at the beginning, if you begin to do it, at the beginning it's quite difficult because you're not actually used to looking at yourself and saying, I love you. But the results are phenomenal because what you're doing is you're building a relationship with yourself. You're building a flawless relationship with yourself. So to start with, you might say, I love you. Look at yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. But then you'll start having conversations with yourself. Say, oh, how are you? Have a brilliant day. I wish you the best today. I'm behind you. I'm backing you. And so it's really the beginning of building this wonderful relationship with yourself. Okay, so that's promise 1. Promise 2 is, I promise to never give up on myself. People can come and go, but my love is here to stay. Okay, so a question I really want you to ask yourself, or I'm going to ask you. Okay, I bet you, if you're like most of the people that become Love Yourselfers and join the movement, you never give up on anybody, ever. Ever. You're known to never give up on anybody. You're always there for everybody. But I bet you anything, you always give up on yourself. Okay, so here's the deal. People can come and go, but my love is here to stay. Now, this is what I found. I found in life that there's 3 categories of people. People that you really love, people that you like, and people that you're not really that fond of, okay? But the rule goes for 3. There's no really certainty with the 3. Some could stay with you the whole of your life, and some a few days, some a few years, some a few months, but there's no certainty in how long any one of the people in these 3 categories will stay, right? They'll come and go. There's no certainty. But there is one certainty, that for the whole of your life, you will never go. You will be with yourself the whole of your life. So it's really important never to give up on yourself. Ever, 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 ever. Get out of the habit of giving up on yourself. And giving up on yourself looks like if you make a mistake, or if, for instance, you're working on something and it's slow. It's slow to begin with, or something didn't succeed, and you call yourself horrible names and you say that, you've never succeeded and you're never going to succeed. This is all giving up on yourself. Don't. Life is, everything happens at the right time, first of all, and never give up on yourself. Always believe that if you put in the correct actions, if you do your best and you put in the correct actions, God willing, something beautiful is always going to unfold. It might not unfold like you think it's going to unfold, but something beautiful will always unfold. So don't give up on yourself is rule number 2. And I stopped giving up on myself. I became my number 1 fan. Okay, rule number 3. I promise to be patient with myself and understand that everything happens at the perfect time, God willing, which I just talked about. So this is what I realized, okay? And this is what I tell all my clients and all the Love Yourselfers that have joined the movement. Great things take time. Great relationships take time. Great businesses take time. Everything good takes time. And so once you realize that, you realize that patience is part of the equation, because nothing really good happens overnight. So be patient with yourself, be really patient, and know that this is a natural process. Everything happens when it should happen. So for instance, if you planted a seed in the soil, yes, you wouldn't go back every day and say, oh, it's not become a flower, or it's not become a tree. You would wait for it to grow, wouldn't you? You would wait for it to grow. Same thing with what you're doing with your life, with your relationships, with your business, with your health, with your wealth. Think good thoughts. Do the actions, God willing, that are in aligned with your thoughts and aligned what you want, and everything will unravel when it should and as it should. I'm sorry, this fly seems it's befriending me. It's been with me for the last week. It comes and says good morning to me every day. Okay, so then we've got number 4. I promise to nourish and appreciate my body and soul. Now this one, I just absolutely love this one, because I think 99.9% of the world's population does not like their body. There's not one person that I've not come across that doesn't find faults with their body, either their stomach or their thighs, or they're too thin, or they're not the right size, or they're too big, or they're too tall, or they're too short. There's always a 2 there. There's always a 2 there. And so every time you look in the mirror, or every time you wear something, you're always finding faults with your body, and your body can actually feel it. It can actually feel this rejection. It's a form of rejection. It's a form of rejection. And so here is, I appreciate my body, really appreciate your body. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for my beautiful body. Thank God. Wherever you are, thank God for my beautiful body. Your body is beautiful wherever you are. Thank God for my beautiful body. Thank God that all my organs are working for me all the time. Thank God for all the cells that are working. They work for you when you're even sleeping. Thank God. Thank God. Really appreciate your body. And the more you appreciate your body, the more your body will actually work. It will work even more for you. Okay, and then nourish it. Now, this is what I don't really go into foods and what to eat and not want to eat, because that's not my domain. But what I have noticed is that everybody is different. Everybody's body is different, and you know your own body, so you know what works for your body, and you know what doesn't work for your body. So check it out. Take time to see what works for your body, what makes you feel vibrant, what makes you feel healthy, what gives you energy, and see what doesn't work for your body, and take it from there. Okay, now you have your soul. Now, to nourish your soul, a lot of people neglect their soul, and it's a cause of a lot of unhappiness. And so nourishing your soul would be doing things like reflecting on your life, praying, meditating, reading, writing, taking long walks. These activities really nourish the soul. And so it's really important that throughout in the day, even though it's just 15 minutes, yes, or 20 minutes, 10 minutes to begin with, do one activity to nourish your soul. It's very important. Okay, for you to feel, it's just to tap into yourself again. Again, all these promises are for you to build this incredible relationship with yourself and to connect with yourself. Connect with yourself again. Okay, promise number 5. I promise to forgive myself and move on. The past is over. My power is in the present. Okay, so nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And anybody who claims to be perfect is delusional. Nobody is perfect, and nobody will ever be perfect. So the mistakes that you've made, they've gone. They've gone, and they're in the past, and you've learned from them. And there was a reason why you made them, because you needed to learn specific lessons. That's it. Don't dwell on them anymore. It's over. And the past is over. Now, as soon as you start focusing on the past and dwelling on the past, your past will come into your present. And your present, what you do in your present, creates your future. So you're just basically bringing the past into the present, and then creating your future. Okay? So the past, if you want to dwell on the past, do 2 things. And I did it in the video. I think it was yesterday's video on, I talked about the past a lot. Okay. And it was on, yesterday was on brain freeze. It's one of my videos. It's probably in a lot of my videos. Okay, brain freeze. Okay, so the past. Let me explain something about the past. If your mind insists on focusing on the past, this is what you do. You focus on the good times in the past. That was it. Yesterday's video was on 3 thoughts to get rid of. That was it. Okay, so if you insist on focusing on the past, okay, focus on the good times that you had in the past and recall them. It's good to recall them. Or if there are no good times or only a few good times, think of all the challenging situations that you had, all the blessings that came out of that, everything you learned. Everything that made you who you are today, this amazing, incredible human being that you are today. And so what you'll find is with every challenge that you had, or with every person that hurt you or upset you, at least 10 blessings, and I mean at least 10 blessings came out of it, at least. So that's what you want to do, is you just want to, okay, you've got into the habit of thinking of the past. Let's think about it in a different way. Let's try and think about it in a different way, and then start focusing on your present. So the past is over. My power is in the present. So the past is over. Okay. This fly is really, it wants to love itself. Okay. So the past is over. The future hasn't come. So the only time you ever have is the present. It's the present. And so even tomorrow, yes, when you're there tomorrow, it will be the present. So the best thing to do in your life, honestly, the best thing to do in your life is to love yourself, yes, and make the best of every single day, because that's what you've got. You've got today, you've got the present. Number 6 is, I promise to put myself first. Now, most people that join the Love Yourself movement, me included, we all have a trait we all have a trait that we put everybody else first. So everybody else's happiness, everybody else, what they like, what they dislike, their time, everything about everybody else's life is before your life. Now, okay, and so you're known, and I was known to be a very, very, very nice person, a very nice person. Like, there's not one person, well, maybe a few, but in general, I'm known to be a nice person, and all the Love Yourselfers are known to be a nice person. But it doesn't work, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. You can still put yourself first and be nice. And so what happens is, when you put everybody else first, you're basically do what you don't want to do 90% of the time or 50% of the time. And then you expect them to give a little bit back of what you've given. And they don't, because they don't know, because they always put themselves first. So they don't even acknowledge what you're doing, really, to be honest. They appreciate you, but they don't know what you're sacrificing. And so you get a lot of resentment and hurt, and you feel neglected. And so when you put yourself first, you still look after everybody. You're not selfish. You still, because you have it in you, you still make sure that everybody is happy, and you make sure that everybody is looked after, and you still do all the good deeds that you were doing, but you just include yourself in that equation. You include yourself in all the goodness that you give to people. Yes, you include yourself in that equation. That's all. That's what it is. I put myself first means that you include yourself in the equation of the way you treat, and you put everybody else first, and how good you are to everybody. You start doing that to yourself. You start doing it to yourself first, and then you do it with everybody else. And what you realize is that you'll have more energy, and you are more honest about what you like and what you dislike. Nobody gets upset, by the way. At the beginning, they might find it a bit strange, but then everybody gets used to it. You get angry less. You don't actually need recognition from anybody, because you've given it to yourself. It's amazing when you put yourself first. You do what you want to do, and then you go about being your loving self, and you help everybody like you did as well. But the only difference is that you've also helped yourself. Okay, promise number 7. I promise to live my life smiling, loving, and loving myself, knowing that I am courageous and all is well, God willing. Okay, so I love smiling. I absolutely love smiling. And the thing about smiling is it really puts you in a state of happiness. And you can always tell, I think as you grow older, your face like molds in how you've lived your whole life. So you can actually tell people that have not been smiling and been quite miserable all their lives, that they tend to have a constant frown on their face. But smiling actually puts you in a state of happiness. And this is what I found about smiling. In your life, whether you like it or not, you're going to have times where they're going to be easy and nice and flowing. And there's going to be times where you're faced with challenges. There are going to be times that you're faced with challenges. All of us, everybody. But if you intend to live your life smiling, what will happen is when the challenges come along, yes, you'll be able to solve them much quicker. And B, you'll solve them smiling. And C, even if you do need time and you're not smiling, the time that you actually get up from the challenge and stand on your feet will be much less than if you were negative before the challenge. So recovery time is much quicker when you smile, because when you're smiling, you're happy, you're in a state of happiness. You really are. You can't fake smile. And even if people do fake smile, you can tell it's a fake smile. But I mean smiling, like smiling and linking your smile to your heart. That's what I mean. I mean your soul smiling. I mean your heart smiling. I mean all your cells smiling. That's what I mean by smiling. And once you live in a state of smiling and a state of happiness, then everything becomes easier, and even if times come that are quite challenging, recovery time is quicker. So I promise to live my life smiling, knowing that I'm courageous. Courage, you're courageous. It takes a lot of courage to love yourself, by the way. It really does. If you've spent your whole life not loving yourself and loving everybody else, and then you begin to start loving yourself, that takes a lot of courage, because a lot of changes take place. But when you're courageous and you make the right choices, which is loving yourself, you transform your life, and you transform the life of people around you. Absolutely life-changing. Courageous will be courageous. I'm courageous means that you follow your dreams, you follow your passions, you do what you want to do, you believe in yourself. These are all signs of a courageous person. Smiling. And all is well, God willing. Now, this is what I have taken from my life, no matter what happens, no matter what has happened. The tears, the crying, I mean, the nights of crying, the boxes that you get from people that literally put you down to the floor, and, you know, the challenges that you have in life, everything, all is well. There's a reason for everything, and there's a beautiful reason. And those boxes and those challenges and the people that were not very nice to you and difficult with you and did not very nice things, they were there for your strength, for you to be who you are today, for you to go on and help people that struggled like you struggled. So all is well. So this is what I'm trying to say. Everybody, every beautiful person who is watching this video, if you're not going through challenge at the moment, thank God, all is well in your world. And if you are going through challenges, all is well in your world. You're going to come out of it, God willing. You are coming out of it, God willing. You're going to come out even stronger. You are even stronger. And everything happens for a reason, and all is well in your world. And so that was a promise that I made, to always say all is well. Thank God, all is well. Whatever's happening at this moment, something good is going to come out of it. Good is going to come out of it. Only good will come out of everything that happens in my life. That's what you have to keep on saying. Anytime somebody upsets you, or anytime anything happens, challenges in your life, you lose your job, something happens, you say to yourself, all is well, God willing, in my world. Only good comes out of things that happen to me. Only good, God willing. I love you loads. I hope you enjoyed the 7 promises. I really enjoyed portraying them to you. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is what I would like you to do. I would like you to choose 2 of the 7 promises and pick 2 and vow to keep them. If you want, you can pick the mirror work, say I love you every morning. You could pick, for instance, I promise to put myself first. Start putting yourself first this week. You could pick, I promise to forgive myself. Forgive yourself. Just say, I forgive myself this week. I'm not going to think of the past. Or if I think of the past, I'm going to think of the blessings that happened in the past, or the good times. You could choose, I promise to be patient. Be really patient. Understand yourself. Just like you're patient with somebody else, with other people, be patient with yourself. Be really patient with yourself. You could choose, I never give up on myself. Don't give up on yourself this week. Make a promise not to give up on yourself. Always, and I promise never to give up on myself, is that you're always there. You're always there. You know, like a best friend, like a soulmate is always there, making sure that you're okay and that you're not upset. You're always there for yourself. I promise to nourish and appreciate my body. Maybe this week you're going to say, well, I'm going to do that. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm going to say, I love you, my body. I love you. I love everything about you. I love your curves. I love everything about you. I love you. Nourish your soul. You could say, well, this week I'm going to promise to pray every day, or to read every day, or to walk every day. Just make 2 promises, two promises, and let me know what happens. Let me know all the incredible results, God willing. Now, please subscribe to the Love Yourself TV, and please hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.